Alright dudes, welcome back to Movie Monday on a Monday. I know. So this week I'm hitting you up with such a treasure, okay? I'm gonna be talking about two movies though. So I'm gonna be starting with The Evil Dead Rise, okay? I finally freaking saw this movie. And how did I feel about it? Okay, so I grew up to Evil Dead. Evil Dead was one of those movies I watched when I was super young. And it creeped me out. It freaked me out. I watched it on VHS. It was so grimy. It was gritty. You just see this, like the pencil in the ankle. You just have a bunch of zombies screaming everywhere. And it's like that classic story of, a bunch of kids in a cabin. And of course somebody has to read some Book of the Dead and shit goes down, right? Evil Dead. Anyways, I love that movie. I love the entire series of it. And then, yeah, Evil Dead Rise, guys. So what was really neat about this movie is they take it, and rather than having it happen in the cabin, it's like in an apartment building, which I thought was really neat. I was not expecting that whatsoever. And I found that to be a bit of a treat. So basically you have this family that ends up uncovering, of course, the recordings of the Book of the Dead and the Book of the Dead. And basically all hell breaks loose in this apartment building. And they take so much more of a possession zombie-esque take to it. And they did really good. Honestly, there was like an amazing homage to The Shining. I think that was probably one of my favorite scenes to it. But this movie, compared to the Evil Dead remake, I don't think they nailed it. You know what I mean? Like, it was still fun. It was still exciting. I don't want to, spoil anything if you guys haven't seen it yet. But I do really think the Evil Dead remake put you on an emotional, terrifying roller coaster. Like, I remember seeing that in theaters, and I was on the edge of my seat, holding on tight, I don't know what's happening next, and it was terrifying. Whereas this felt a bit more like pop music? Is that a good way to say it? It just felt like it was missing something. And even the CGI and, the makeup effects, I was like, oh, man, I feel like they could have gone so much darker with it and really gritty. But I almost feel like they did this for a reason. I feel like they did this so that we can get, say, the younger generation back on board with the Evil Dead series. Because it was a lot softer, in my opinion, than the first Evil Dead remake. Yeah. So, that's my opinion about Evil Dead Rise. I give it, a solid, on 10... like a 3. Like a 3, yeah. It's not something I'd watch again, honestly. Yeah, I guess we all have our opinions. I would love to know what you guys thought about it. Because honestly, Evil Dead, the remake, was so good. So I was I guess my expectations were when you expect too much, you should always under-expect. Anyways, there's still some great homages, like I was saying. Okay, guys, the treat of the week, your Movie Monday, is this wild little movie I found on Tubi TV. It is a sci-fi sea monster type movie. So, you ready for this? Sea Fever. From 2019, I found this movie streaming on Tubi TV for free right now. What had me? The only thing was, Sea Fever. I'm like, ooh, that sounds good. It's an easy title. And then I obviously checked it out on IMDb because I was like, I don't want to waste my time. And it got a 5.7, which is, again, really good for IMDb. Usually 4 and up, you're pretty safe. But when it comes to horror movies, 7 is it's really good. So I was like, screw it, let's give it a chance. Guys, this movie was such a good freaking... It was fantastic. It was so good. Imagine The Thing, but they brought it to, the sea, and it was dark, and the effects were fantastic. Everything was... a lot of it was practical, and of course, for, a bit of the sea monster, you kind of have to. Anyways, so the story is, it's about this girl who's, this young, science, nerdy-ish, biology kind of girl, and she basically gets put on this fisherman's boat, and her job is to basically, do a dive at least once, and just basically take notes and, be on there. Of course, she goes on, right away they start being like, oh man, not a redhead, that's bad luck. I don't know if that's the thing. If anybody knows if that's the thing, I haven't even Googled it yet. I was kind of like, why are they so rude to redheads? But yeah, so right away they're a bit what's that word? When you see a black cat, you are... I'm so close. Superstitious. There you go. Crazy superstitious. Anyways, so yeah, it starts off like that. So obviously, like, they're not that welcoming of her. There's already, like, an older lady on the ship. There's also, like, the captain's woman who's with them. And then it's all dudes. And everybody's kind of like, ugh. Anyways, they start going, and of course they get stuck at one point. And you can kind of tell they're like, okay, what is this? And there's this weird, like, circle in the basement of the ship. And they're like, they poke it, and, like, their finger goes through. It's like, what? Right? And it's like, it's a steel / wooden-ish boat. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know my boats. But yeah. So she goes downstairs, and she's like, whoa. She scrapes a bit, and there's, like, this blue jelly on it, right? She starts trying to, like, look into it. She doesn't have too much stuff with her. But it's kind of like, what is this, and why are we trapped, right? They're trying everything. They're still stuck. They see another boat, and they're like, oh, my God, maybe they can help us out. Because, honestly, their radio wasn't working. Apparently, the captain took them off course, like the way they shouldn't have been going. Of course, there's always some asshole who does that. And they go onto this other boat. And, like, they force, they force her to basically dive. They force her to take a dive first, and they say, you know what, those are barnacles just holding us down. You go dive down and see what it is. And she jumps down, and she sees it's this massive thing that's, like, glowing with, like, giant kind of tentacles holding on to it. And she, like, quickly gets up and she's like, get me the hell out of here, obviously. And she's like, there's no cutting that off, obviously. So yeah, they go to this other boat, okay? They get on, it's dead quiet. Nothing's going on. So they creep around, they get to the belly of it. Guys, there's just people sitting at the table, eyes freaking gouged out, and they're just like, yeah. So, like, the three of them that are there, it's the girl who dived, like, the main chick, and the captain, and another dude, and they're just like, what? And they're like, don't say anything, we're just gonna go try the radios, nothing works. It's as if, like, you know? So, this movie, I'm not gonna say any more than this, okay? This movie is so much like The Thing, and you guys know how much I love that movie. But it's as if they took all the wonderful aspects of it, and they kept it really serious. And they kept it, like, it's still who's infected, who's not. It's also, what is this? And at the same time, it's this whole feeling of helplessness. Again, we come back to helplessness. I love movies that just make you feel helpless, don't I? But this is one of those movies that hits you, and you're like, it ended, and I was like, good job. Especially for something from 2019, I have to say, I give this movie major praise. I have never heard of it. I haven't seen it, you know, anywhere. I seriously think everybody should go see this film. Watch it on Tubi and let me know what you think. Because honestly, if you're feeling a good sci-fi and just like angry fisherman, monster vibes, it is so good. It was really good. Even the acting, honestly, the acting was phenomenal. How do you find that in like a lower budget film? It's rare, right? Okay. I'm going to shut up. You guys have a wicked rest of your week. I missed you, and we will see you soon. Okay, bye. Wait, if you're following, thank you so much. And if you're not, you'll get on that. Be a part of the fam. And tomorrow is Tuesday Fuse-Day. You know what that means. We like to get silly. We play games on Twitch. And I've recently started making trivia, so get ready. It's going to be all stuff about movies, random pop shenanigans. It might get a bit lewd. It's always worth it. So you're more than welcome to join. I'll pop the Twitch in the comments if you guys want to come. Thank you so much and have an awesome week, my dudes. Bye.